To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. Humanity faces an enemy that we have never openly admitted exists. Man, know thyself, then thou shalt know the universe and God. Let's talk about the unseen. Hollywood, novels, plays, all through the millennia and further back, maybe countless millennia. Nobody really knows. At best, we have a few documents, but when it comes down to a subject such as this, on the surface, for the greater majority of our species, there has been very little taught. But kid yourself not. The unseen is as real as the seen. And this is what this video is about. In order to establish the whole point of this video, we have to really build a foundation. And that's what this first segment of this video is going to do. We're going to establish a foundation. And once that foundation is established, we're going to start building upon that. And though we may have this in the ground, eventually we're going to look like a regular building. So fact one. Let's get it completely out into the open and firmly understood. There are billions of spiritual creatures walking on the earth unseen. It's the truth. I would say that if it was fully known and revealed to our species, we probably would be in total cognitive meltdown. But again, there is a whole world that's occupying the same space you are. If you could see, do me a favor, just stop, and I'll give you the opportunity. I want you to look to your left. All right? Now, what you can't see is that there are beings watching you. Everything you do, they're watching you. And creatures that crawl, we all have it. That weird thing, you swear someone touched you with a feather, or it just felt like, you had, that spider web, just the one, right? That you can feel it. Can't see it, but boy, you can feel it. That's what's all around us. Fact number two, the earth is an intelligent, living, sentient being. no different than you. And it is a very long-lived being. We don't think about these things. But in order for us, meaning our species, to take that final step, we've got to face some realities. And the first reality is that you and I, everything else born into this temporal plane, is titled the reality of illusion. It's what it is. And the game that every one of us enter into upon our births is, can we run the gamut, knowing that much to what our perceived reality is nothing more than an illusion. So we've got to understand, because when you do, it takes on some, well, it begins to impact a lot of other things. So the earth is an intelligent, living, sentient being and is aware of the atrocities that have and are taking place. Fact number 3, the earth is female. As it is not the male entity that is the superior. No. No. That is the illusion. The male cannot produce offspring. It can contribute, but it is the female that gives birth. Otherwise, the seed dries up. And that has, again, it begins to crack the matrix, the illusionary boundaries, perceptions. So if you understand, clap. Come on. I can't hear you. Oh, there we go. All right. Good. All right. I just want to make sure everyone understands. All right. So now we can start getting into the meat of the matter. So, consciousness of all kinds are attracted to the earth. When I said that the earth was a living, sentient, intelligent being, it is beyond the scale most of us can comprehend, much less apprehend. And when you begin to understand that earth is so unique, it is indeed the womb of the universe. It sounds, I know it sounds just kind of real, esoteric. It's like, well, Wayne, what are you talking about? But it's true. It's absolutely the truth. And we're talking about this unseen reality, right? The unseen world that's here. They come for diverse reasons, but all come because of the energy. It's the energy that the earth herself is producing. It's the energy that she has actually given birth to. One of the things that I'm finding out is upon the stepping through what I call the next portal there, which is what we call and define death, right, is that there are a lot of souls in that energy that are still here. Now, many leave, but there is, to a great percentage, a number of souls that are here. And on top of that, when you have all these different entities, energies, consciousness coming here to this planet, it's hard sometimes to really accept. But the energy that Earth radiates is life. It is the radiance of life itself. And it radiates throughout the universe in all dimensions. It's palatable. It can be felt. It can be measured. It can be consumed. Now here's the thing. I would say 99.9% of all of humanity is unaware that there has been a war raging for epochs. Yeah. A war mankind is the cause of, and one we have no understanding any longer as to why. We merely know that we are impacted by the effects. We see it in our societies. We see it in us. That struggle. How can you be one person who can be so giving, but yet on the very same hand be so covetous? And it seems that, well, for a great percentage of humanity, from birth to death, it's a struggle, suffering. It's dreams that have never materialized, hopes that are dashed, beauty tore away, love felt with betrayal. I mean, you can just go on and on. But it does, by all evidence, appear we are the cause of this war. There is a spirit realm few humans have seen. Most are blinded to its real existence. I've been able to just see just a little bit. There's others who've been able to see much more. I'm learning from them. But for the vast majority, they have no clue. What they do have is a perception. Now that perception is very real because it frames your core. And although most of that perception is built upon false knowledge and ideologies that have no basis in reality. And so, again, if you're blinded to something, how do you know you're missing it, right? I mean, if you never had something, how do you know that you would miss it? You wouldn't know it. The thing you have to understand about this unseen realm, it has structure and it has hierarchy. It's how we got our structure and hierarchy. They taught us. Or they taught a version of us so long ago that it's only that faint primal memory that just scratches, itches the outer boundaries of our understanding. Does your nose itch? What I'm going to be showing you is what is called animism, ancient secret knowledge. Now, this is something that I have been on a quest for a very long time. And I have contemplated, and as you have seen in many of my videos, it's all been kind of leading to this. So we're going to learn some things together. You ready? This transcends human knowledge by supernatural methods and is based upon actual experience. In other words, there have been our species who have actually been there, pierced the veil. I know a couple that actually just freaking ripped it open. Now, there are some of us who, by other means, have transcended out of our physical bodies. We've been out there. And it exists, folks. It really does. My first experience was when I was 16. And I can tell you, it's as real as you are. When we think of intelligence, we think it as an IQ. It's a measure to one's ability, supposedly, in knowledge. But actually, that's not correct. Intelligence is life. And it's everywhere. The proper definition for our case in going forward is an intelligible substance free from all gross terrestrial matter, immortal and supernatural influence, and the nature of all intelligence, spirit, and angels. Okay? Now, there are three, what I would basically say, classes of angels. Actually, I believe that they're almost separate species of angels. And that's the term that we use. Spirits, intelligent spheres, right? So, the first one at the very top is called supercelestial. Now, these beings are separated from a body being and are intellectually spheres worshiping the one supreme power. They have no bodies. They are literally spheres, folks. In fact, I can tell you, you are. The last video I did talked about the vastness of the soul. It's truly a sphere. And these beings, that's all they do. They are called gods in their rank. Now that's a little odd, right? But they are called gods and are known as gods amongst their rank by the reason of their participation of the divinity. Now, in modern cultures, particularly Western, they are known and have been given the name archangels. They could be called the Watchers. They're here. They rule. They rule over you. And that's the problem. Are you hearing me? That's the problem. Now we're going to learn about these sentient, living, intelligent beings. They have the ability, literally, to coexist in multi-dimensions. Powerful. The second one are known as celestial intelligence. They are second in order and are called mundane angels, being appointed besides divine worship for the spheres of the world and for every government, every zone, and stars. So, translation here. They're a part of the super celestials. They are part of this divine worship. And actually, what I actually found is that you could almost say as well, in some of these ancient documents, is divine knowledge, divine wisdom. One where I found it was divine presence. Well, that's pretty cool. And pay attention, for the spheres of the world. Earth is a sphere. You're a sphere. Life in itself. It's a universal. The Creator, that's how it is. Now, figure it like this on the pyramid. The top are the orders, the second are the zones, the third are the stars. And we'll get into this. These high-ranking angels rule the signs, the triplicities, the decans, the quinaries, the degrees, and the stars. Now, I know some of you are going, all right, I know what maybe the signs are. Those are the zodiac, right? Yes. But you're going, what the heck are, well, the triplicities? Actually, it's very simple. It's a group of 3. All right? Decans. Each of the 3 equal 10-degree divisions of a sign of the zodiac. And then quinaries pertaining to or consisting of 5, a number in a quinary system. All right, then degrees, 360, and of course stars. All right? Now, they assign and rule over 12 princes who rule over the 12 signs of the zodiac. Now pay close attention. So under them, there are 32 that rule the decans, 72 others rule the quinaries of heaven with the tongues of men and nations, 4 rule the triplicities, and 7 governors of the world. Now, if you can begin to comprehend each one of these rank and orders and understand what they rule, what they control, it's going to really be to your benefit. We're going to see. They all have been given names. That's capital. There's a reason for that. And seals with characters, which when using an invocation and incantations makes their power available to the one speaking the invocation or the incantation. Think about this, folks. It happens every day in our lives. How many of you belong to the Chamber of Commerce or the Kiwanis or any one of those other civic organizations? What is the first thing they do when they come together? They give an invocation. We just simply, they speak an invocation at sporting events. And most of the people just, merrily fairly, just, going, okay, yeah. Never realizing what they're actually participating in. There's a language, folks. And if you study and begin to learn. And if you know the word, the command, the name, you can control them. Yeah. Now, if you remember at the beginning of this video, we talked about the fact that there are literally billions of them, right? It's called angelic or celestial script. There's a number of alphabets, but the sages, the masters, they've translated it. This is the Tibetan alphabet. I'm studying this now, and it's quite interesting. So the Supreme God established spirits as ministers for assisting man and for disposing of these things which Origen called certain invisible powers for those things which are on earth. Now, in my Christian upbringing, when I was studying Christian theology, was participating in it, is that Hebrews 2:14, are not all ministering spirits sent to serve man? Now, these creatures, these beings, have made confessions which have been put down. And by their own confession and words, they admit they will, while invisible, they do direct our path and our business, and are often present at our battles, and by secret help to give the desired success to those they favor, and at their pleasure can and do produce prosperity and inflict adversity. Think about a being that has that kind of control. And no matter whether you want to accept this or not, it doesn't matter. You can die, and it's still not going to matter. When you cross that veil, you're going to go, oh crap, the guy was talking about that. Yeah. They're here. They make sport of us, and have, and do. We're going to see if we can change some of that. Now, these angels then distribute to the other angels on rank and order. Some are fire, air, water, and earth. 4 species of angels with 4 powers of the celestial soul, mind, reason, and imagination. It's how we get our military structure here. Who do you think taught us? And there you go. Now, celestial fire follows the mind of celestial souls who think of the more divine things. Air follows reason, favoring the rational mind. Oh, I made a mistake there. That's my mistake. Well, there you go. Yes, I make mistakes. OMG. Water follows the imagination, resulting in a voluptuous life. I love that word, voluptuous. Yeah, I mean, that's like gusto, man. You know? Earth follows nature, favoring vegetation. According to the ancient masters, there is no part of the earth destitute of the proper assistance of these angels, not because they are alone, but because they reign and are everywhere and operate under command to have influence on earth. Plato wrote, there are so many legions as there are stars, that there are so many different spirits. Now, in the next segment, we're going to name the good, the bad, by their names. And listen, folks, know their names, you hold their power. All right, folks, be kind to one another.